Hi everyone, MJ, aka Silver Moon Tarot and Astrology. I'm sorry for removing the Aries and Taurus videos, feeling it was not up to a standard that I strive for to help others. Plus my own personal energy being off, I felt it was best to take them down. My purpose for this channel is not the quantity, but the quality that is uploaded. Most, if I feel my energy is not in a good place, and it's best to do nothing. Okay, let's discuss what is happening with us at this time of the lunar eclipse in Taurus. For each of us, it will affect different areas of our lives, depending on the house in which it occurs. Let's begin on what was and where we are heading. Transformation. We have all been going through this from the time we were born. Change does happen throughout life. It just occurs at different times and can last many years. The question we must ask ourselves is the what, where, and how. The why is to force us into becoming better versions of ourselves in relationships and society on this planet that we share with others. In doing so, we must be good stewards and caretakers of the environment around us. This includes people, animals, resources, and earth. We all come into the world with nothing, and nothing leaves this world with us, not fame and fortune, family or friends, or food and possessions. Even our body remains behind to return to whence it came. Transformation is all about the authority, power, and control over only ourselves. Each of us is created differently but equally. We all have opinions, thoughts, and ideals how things should be, but it doesn't mean we have to agree. But by sharing and assisting each other, we can make the world a better place to live. After each transformation of our life, we are reborn into being a better person of our old self. There is a new beginning, a completeness that is going to take place, and it will only be the characteristics of love that will help us through to the end of our life as we know it. So I will go ahead now and start beginning to do the astrology and give the tarot cards that I see for the energy of each sign. I'll try and keep it simple. I'll try and stay focused on just the house of where that's coming from for each and every sign. So if you will hang with me today, we'll see how it goes. So let's begin for each sign. What's going to take place? Before I begin doing the astrology for each sign, I want to discuss the energies of the planets from the sun all the way through to Saturn for that day and what their energies will be. Saturn, which will be ruling the day because that will be on a Saturday. Saturn deals with where you learn to operate within the limitations of society, responsibility and rules, fears, obstructions, limitations, father, the teacher. Its energy will be one due to its resting. It doesn't have much energy. It is still retrograde. It will not go stationary to the 1st of November. Jupiter, which is the planet of a personal expansion process of your realm and horizons, this house brings good fortune and luck, the house of optimism, confidence, and pride. But its energy is going to be at a -5 because it too is retrograde. And it still has, I believe it's 63 days and 6 hours of retrograde to go before it goes direct. The next one will be Mars. Mars is about courage and the ability to take action, desire, and nature, and aggressive drives. Sign shows how you go out after values and survival. The house is where you concentrate this energy. So I'll be letting you know on each one of these. And Mars is going to be at an 8. Its energy is the highest of the whole day. It will be very intense. So Mars, we're going to have to be very careful about our ability to take action. Also questioning our desires and aggressive drives that we have. And also maybe check our values and how we're going to survive something at this time. And what are you really concentrating your energy toward there? The next one is the sun. Its energy will be a -5. It's all about our inner personal purpose, our inner drive and energy, the source of will and motivation, sense of confidence, strength, individuality, and creativity. And it will only be at a -5. So there won't be a whole lot of energy there to get something done. And it, like I said, it may be very aggressive that day because of Mars. It could be a lot of agitation of not being able to get things done. Venus, she'll be 0 degrees, but overnight between 1, and these are all my times, Eastern Standard Times, when I give you a time, you'd have to do for yourself on yours, between 1:07 a.m. to 2:12 a.m., she will drop to a -3. So your capacity to love and your values is what Venus is all about. The sign shows your attitudes and needs in love. House shows what you value most and attract to yourself. Refinement. Money can either be gained or lost during this time. The next one is Mercury. Mercury being the planet of the concrete and the conscious mind. The sign and house shows how and where you communicate and assimilate the results of your relationships. It's about reason and logic. And Mercury's going to be at a -5, so communication may not be good. The last thing we have is the moon. And the moon is how we express our purpose in everyday activities through our emotions, attitudes, habits, general moods, how you adapt to your environment. And it's also about the mother. And it will be at a +4 most of the early day up until in the evening, my time again, Eastern Standard Time. From 7:40 p.m. to 4:23 a.m., it will increase from a 4 to a 7 during those hours I just told you. 7:40 p.m. to 4:23 a.m. So when I talk about the houses and I say where this is, you can refer back to this to note that what each one and what it will be for you. Okay? I just want to go for that so we can go ahead and get that out of the way when I start showing what houses the lunar eclipse will be for each sign. All right. I also want to add to this that the moon in its energy being so high is because it's exalted in Taurus. But the ruler of this eclipse is going to be Venus. With Venus having the strength at 0 for most of the day into the early morning hours, like I said, those times I said, we will feel that need of in that relation with Venus about our capacity to love and our values and our attitude and needs in love. Be a focus there. And remember what I said about the house will show when the house that is going to be for each sign is what you value most and attract to yourself. Again, this could be dealing a lot with money and gains and loss. Okay? Because the opposition to that is going to be Scorpio. And Mars is going to be very, very intense there. The energy on this day will be intense about what we desire. So I'll talk about more on that when I get into each sign and how it will be for each sign. Okay, let's take a close look at where this lunar eclipse is going to take place. You can see here it's in this area with Russia and South Africa, or Africa. I don't know why I said South Africa. I guess I was thinking of South America. But it will be taking a lot going on over in this area. And we know what already is going on in this area. And remember I said about the energy of Mars being so intense and the war that's going on there. And these Arab nations and Israel and Egypt and this impact is going to, it's going to be really, really intense in this area. So our focus may be a lot toward what we hear of what's happening. But this eclipse is going to have this effect here. Now you can see as the bands, I hope you can see these pretty good, but as it goes out, that means there will be less effect or less visibility on this. Let's go over now. So let's look at where it starts in that area. and it will go straight over, and you can see it's doing the eclipse, and there's a little portion there, as you can see at the bottom, and as it goes over Africa, it will go back to its illumination again. Again, see at the bottom right here, there will be that uh, darkness, more intense energy at the bottom of the moon. It'll just be touching it, but you can see in the area where it's taking place. And again, the bands, you can see how they lighten, will be the visibility of those areas of what can see. It's only going to touch in the United States, here in Canada, and part of South America. It will be intense somewhere. It can be in here, be seen really well. As far as the United States, it looks like it comes through that area of South Carolina up through this part up in here, where we'll see. You can do that. Sorry about that. Where what's occurring here. So I'll let you just kind of look at it for a minute and visualize it and see what is going on here. Hey Libras, MJ here. We're going to do your lunar eclipse energy here and what's happening. You still have the South Node in your first house, so you're dealing with something here with these nodes. They're points in the sky of the moon and where it's at. They're connected, these nodes, about the past and the future. North node being the future, as you can see right here. That south node here and the north node opposite. They're always opposite, but they're in Aries and Libra. So there is something about you in connection with partnerships, marriages. It's about all relationships that you have, friends, partners, marriage, individuality, contracts, partnerships, lower courts, and law that you do. And you do have the justice card here. And that south node being in that first house is about self, the physical appearance, yourself in the past, how you showed up in the past, actions you took in the past. Because the south node is about actions, what actions you took, how you communicated, all those things back when Mars and Mercury and the sun was back in Libra, and it was what actions you were taking, how you communicated, and where you were focused on yourself. And it's also with that first house is how you present yourself and how others see you. It's your early environment influences, young age. How was you during that first 7 years of your life? That early environment you lived in. That's from birth to age 7. And then on from 7 to 14. So it's those early years of development, that how your environment influenced you. And it's also about your physical appearance, your self-awareness. And you are a cardinal sign, and Aries is a cardinal sign. So with these two, when you're in partnership, it's like you want partners or need partners that are motivated. They're driven to succeed or success. If let's just say you got into a partnership with someone, and they weren't pulling their weight, or they weren't what is the word? Motivated to pursue something here and have the drive and the energy to put the effort into something, you're not going to be happy, because that partnership's not going to last. Same thing in your marriages. The partner has to be driven to succeed and success. That piques your interest. Because through that, we go now to the second and the eighth house. The second house is dealing with your values, your feelings, your self-worth, talent, heredity, social privilege, cultural background, possession, security, earning ability for money, and how you make the money, where you get, your job, your career, whatever. Now, with this partnership, that is the eighth house. Is what that partnership that you've got, that you're driven, whether you're in business or marriage or relationships, is what the partner has that is that was driven to success. And that partner has those values of that you're looking for, that they're strong. They have that ability to succeed. They have the ability to earn money. They have the ability to acquire possessions. They have the ability to produce a security earning ability of money. And they're cultured. They're socially cultured. And they know their self-worth. But you share that with, they share that with you. And you want them to share that with you. Now, in your second house, it's like it's flipped. Your second house is, in the normal astrology, Taurus rules over the second house. And Scorpio rules over the eighth house. Well, these have flipped. They've reversed, more or less. And they're opposite of one another. Your second house, for you, deals with, and it's ruled by Scorpio, so it's dealing with secrets, rituals, occult, and power, death and regeneration, sexual activity, shared assets. See, you want to share the assets and finances and the legacies and wills and all this stuff. You've got to want to share it, what that other person has. And what gets me with this Scorpio energy and Mars being there is a death, and possibly because there is that death there, because of Pluto in your fourth house, your home, your security. You want a secured home here. But something here divinely has ended that. It's taken it away. You know, what the Lord giveth, the Lord can take it away, for sure. And so what you shared with this other individual is now being eclipsed, or emotionally it's being taken away. Because here with Mars Mars, I meant to say with Scorpio here, it's all about what's being taken away. That's security, an ending. Pluto is, I don't know why I keep going over there. Pluto is about the death and regeneration. It's destruction. It's disintegration. Now, I don't know if you did this intentionally or whatever, but you destroyed something here and ended something that was very secure, that could help your career and your reputation and your professional achievements, and keeping you in a moral condition. It led you in a direction in your life goals, prestige, and position. It gave you prestige and position here in the home, in the family. And it also was for your 10th house in your career part. It gave you balance. But now, and nurturing it, nurtured you to achieve, to accomplish. It kept you on a path of going in a good direction in the home life. And now that the home life is going through this death due to maybe some secrets, maybe some occult rituals. I hope you're not into that. Um, uh, or even about your sexual activity that caused something of a disintegration here, or a just tore it down. And so now in that fourth house, you don't have that security. That even in the career of the 10th house up here, which is opposite, things may feel out of balance now. What was maybe you felt comfortable in and easy in, but in the home life, no, you're being challenged in the home life about the past and the future. There's uncertainty there. So then any time that the home life is not in that built in that solid foundation, it affects the career, the reputation. It affects your moral conduct. It affects the directions you go, your life goals, and that prestige and um, position you had. Because now in that 10th house, you don't know if that is something here's out of balance. Because right now, there's something you're battling with emotionally. I don't know if you're not nurturing the relationship or whatever this is, but I don't feel like there's communication either here. Something has stopped. Something is over here. You do have a soulmate connection here, whether you realize it or not. You were brought together with someone spiritually. But what happened? I don't know, because the scales are here. But it's like the two have changed now. They've totally different now. Because in your seventh house is Chiron and the North Node, and that's about friends, partners, marriage, individuality, relationships, contracts, partnerships, lower courts, and the law. Something about the future here from the past. And I see that there's this pain. There's an end to something here, a soulmate contract, a soulmate connection. And it's just kind of here with this. That's Taurus. The energy just stopped. This is Gemini, and this is you, Libra, the sign for Libra. But something here, the other person is like, it's just at a halt. I mean, it's like going nowhere. I mean, it's like the relationship just for some reason is like not moving forward due to all this pain. This is Gemini energy, Gemini energy. Someone here in your soulmate connection has been hurt really, really bad. And they're not moving forward, or you're not moving forward. I don't know. But what comes out here is the Scorpio energy. Remember what I said in your first house? I see a shadow here, a dark shadow. You're dealing with your shadow side of all this, where there was these things of visions you had of things. Who I feel like you're dealing in the shadow here. Just, in that occult. Anything that's black and dark like that is not good. You're dealing with the shadow side of something here, of yourself. What is it you truly want? And how you go about achieving it or getting it. Because what's here, let me tell you something. If that's divine, angels don't hide themselves. They're not ghosts. They're not spooky things. It's almost like something's thrown out there like, you can have all this, but you don't know where it's coming from. It's just tempting you. And it's an illusion. I don't know if this is your visions you have or what it is. Because your sixth house is ruled by Pisces. And you could be going through those things right now that deal with Pisces, which is karma. And karma is a result of past actions, hidden supports and limits, institutes, and inner social conflict. And we see death. And I told you that Pluto, and this is a representation of Pluto. Pluto rules Scorpio. So there's something here of an ending of your visions, your dreams, your goals that is dying. It's because of past acts. And we see the Hierophant here, which is a representation of Taurus. It's a major arcana for Taurus. Spirituality is trying to get you to see something here. With sun here, sun here. And it's about the strength, the mother, the child. Something here. Women, children. And we see also the towers back here, the moon, which is usually the representation of the moon card, where the sun comes, the eclipse comes, and now all of a sudden whatever was is gone now. Your dreams, your visions, and all that stuff you had is now gone. It's been taken away spiritually. I'm sorry, but that's exactly what I'm seeing here. Because of karma, past acts. The results of past acts. The hurt and the pain here. Now, I did pull 3 cards, and I don't look at these in advance. And I got to say this, and I want to, show something here. But with these 5s here, of this it is about the grace, the love, the gift of the other person that you shared something with here. And they were probably very generous and gave. So there was no way they could give any more. And we also see Venus, which is your ruling planet, is in a fall. Venus is in its detriment here. It's in a fall. It's like it's in a calamity. You got to choose between either healing something here in your life, and I see that there needs to be some healing here done. And as well, you can make this choice, because with the quincunx or the inconjunct over to Chiron, which is the wounded warrior, which is about a doubling of a new beginning here. But But you've got to heal something to have the double new beginning. But right now, you've got to make the decision, because with these energies that are here in conjunct means that there's a decision or an adjustment needs to be made here in these energies. Because something right now with your ruling planet is in a fall. And when a planet's in a fall, it feels where it usually has that exaltation, which Venus would be very exalted over here in Pisces. Here, it's in the fall. It's dishonored. So, bondage. You got to make a decision. Do I choose life, or do I choose to stay in this bondage and the loss of everything? It's your choice. And it's dealing with your future. So only divine sets a path for us, and we either work toward that, and we're rewarded very well with his grace and his love, and he brings those people into our lives that has that grace, the gift of loving and compassion, or he will take it away if we don't honor and value it and see the value in what is there. And like I said, I'm looking at something here that's going to be taken away, taken out. You'll lose it if you don't work towards something here of a new beginning. Now, you can go on with your life, but believe you me, you will carry these wounds forever if you don't work on healing something here. Now, what I got here, and before I go, I keep wanting to go there and then I forget. I go here, and I want you to see what's going to happen the next day with this. The energy is going to be very, very intense, because we have not only Mars and Mercury, the combined energy with something of the sun illuminating, because the sun and the moon are two illuminators. So this lunar eclipse, because remember, eclipses eclipse things out, either past behaviors, past actions, something here, it's taking something away. But there's conflicts to this because of Mars and Mercury combined, and this is being illuminated now of what's being eclipsed out of your life. Because it brings in disorder, disintegration. Remember, Pluto is the one that's here. Pluto will destroy things in our life and tear us down. And it's been doing it in your home, in your family, that is just disintegrating before your very eyes, or you had a hand in it because of your past actions. I mean, I hate to say it, not for all of you, because if you have been in that place of having that gift to know whatever your rewards were, and you were really putting in the effort and changing your life and going for the better, and instead of destroying everything. Believe you me, all these people that have been out there doing the riots and what they've been doing and everything else, wait till springtime when that total solar eclipse comes. My Lord, what's going to happen to them? It's going to get worse and worse and worse, because all I'm seeing here is with the combination of this eclipse that happened. And look at it. I'm going to read you something here. I look at biblical numbers, okay? And both of these being 11, the sun's still at 5. There is an opportunity here to make this change and focus on the grace and the gifts and the love that was there for you. Okay? But let's go over to the moon and Jupiter, which is retrograde. It's not going to go direct for another 62 days and 20 hours before it goes direct. At 11 degrees, 10 minutes in. On the 29th, and this is at 2:36 in the morning. 10 is the number of law, something in the law, something of sin. That's kind of a sin. Tests, trials, witness, justice, judgment. Don't tell me heaven's court's not holding court at this time and that we're all not under this judgment and consciousness, which is moral responsibility. And the person on that side has had that moral responsibility. Because it is the 8th house, but it's ruled by Taurus in your chart. So somebody was living here, and the other person in your life was living under that moral responsibility. And then we go to the 11, which is the degrees of the planets. That's about disorder, disintegration, things falling apart for ungodly, judgment, chaos, last hour. It's an end to a solar cycle. And the solar is the moon, the illumination. And we've got Mars here and Mercury at that same degrees. There's going to be a change of something in your thinking that's going to, once your mind goes through this transformation or goes through whatever is happening here, it's going to be affected because of that opposition to the other one. You're going to go through something. I don't know what it is, but I know that there's going to be this change within the way you think, the way you communicate, the way you plan, the actions you take. Something is going to change you overnight. And whatever this is with Uranus, because the moon will come in close to Uranus, it will conjoin with Uranus up here. Oh, gosh. As you can see, oh, shoot. As you can see, it will come the next day after this 29th, around Halloween. There's going to be Hallows Eve. There's going to be this change, a sudden, swift change of the wind. And things are going to go in a completely different direction. You're going to want to go in a completely different direction. Or this person on the other side is going to a completely different direction. A radical change on that other side over there. Something is complete and done. 21 is that completion. It's something in their nature, their history, and there's going to be this sevens is about the 3 sevens. We're talking about nature, history, prophecy. We're talking about completion, perfect completion of something over here for the other person at 21. When that moon gets there, something's drastically going to change. It's done for them. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like we've all been given time to right any wrongs. And if we don't do it and we just let things go, how do you expect things to change? How do you expect anything to get any better? Now, I did pull 3 cards. That is a projection. Remember, it's only a projection. Seeing it now, something could change here. With the Lovers and the Justice here, somebody's really protecting themselves. We're talking about Leo energy. You or the other person may have Leo in, and Leo energy is ruled by the sun. But we're looking at where, Mars, this might have been something back during that time that the person was defending themselves. Somebody here defending themselves strongly, just taking a stand. And this might have been back when Mars was going through its retrograde, or when it went. I'm not quite sure when Mars was exactly. In Leo off the top of my head. I can't think of when it was there. Um, it's been about 6 weeks, a little over a month. So, August. Oh, this may have been something that happened in August. Somebody was really standing their ground here. They were really intensely focused on standing their ground in some legal way. I mean, they, like, no. And what we got here between the Knight of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords, we've got the Two of Wands, which is Aries, which is your 7th house. There was something here. I want to go back to this a minute because Leo is your 11th house. And the 11th house is that of your friends. Somebody here might have been being attacked by your friends, your social group. Or you was holding back those friends or pushing them back. Then we have Aries, which is, like I said, your 7th house here. And you can see the one wand right here that's connected. I mean, it's bracketed down. You see it in that concrete, in that solid foundation. And you've got the world in your hand there. And that's, again, that Capricorn energy, but it's Mars energy as well. Mars in Capricorn can be exalted, meaning it's by winter, there's something here. You're looking towards something here for in the world. You want success at something here, but you're uncertain because with the Two of Wands, is there, like again, this is your seventh house. You want maybe something here, or it's the partner is being successful in healing something here, or being successful in the world. They're looking out at the world. Something's going to happen here at that time. Mars in Aries is very exalted. I mean, it rules Aries. So when Mars gets over there into your seventh house, that partner is going to have that strength. And what we have right here with you, with this that's going on, is Sagittarius, Jupiter energy. This weight, this burden. Um, Tens are always endings. That this comes from what's going on here. What I said. Getting the feeling that this is Saturn and Mars together combined. You're going to be laden very hard here and burdened. And this will be during the winter months. Things are going to be very difficult. Carrying extra responsibilities here, burdens. Sorry, that's Saturn, Mars, Saturn, Sagittarius. And Saturn, which is your third house. Mars gets into probably about another. I'm not sure when Mars will move into Sagittarius because it's not that far off. Um, Hold on a minute, and I'll tell you. Next month in November, November the 24th, around Thanksgiving, and Mercury being Capricorn. So right after that, on the 1st of December. So you're going to be, I feel like you're going to be carrying some burden, some weight here. Um, and just know if you've been doing things, if you've been doing all the right things, this should, whatever this is here that goes, this transformation should be to lift the burdens off. but the still of an ending in some way here. The energies, and it all depends. Karma. You know if you created karma in your life by your past actions. I don't have to sit here and tell you that. I mean, these are not personal readings; they're general. But I'm getting, and by looking at the planets, I can see that this is going to be a very intense lunar eclipse. It's just the beginning of what's to come. And if you've created this bad karma in your life, you know you could be sitting there right now. And in other words, well, I put out good karma. Then guess what? This is going to be lifted off of you. If you've not produced good karma, you know what you've been doing in the world. And what choices you made here. You know if you've been through some legalities with a soulmate connection and try and ending the contract. And you know if you did it right or wrong. I don't have to. I mean, come on, people. It's common sense here. Don't tell me in the comment, well, not me, it's them. You know, just by me saying something here of what's going on here and about karma and about if it's even a karmic relationship or a soulmate relationship, whatever the karma is of your past actions, you know what you did. Face it. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you what the spirit is telling and what's showing here. There is a change in the wind. There's a shift of the change here. Is somebody going to pick up those rods and take the responsibility for their actions and what they did to create an ending in the pain? Or are you the one that created good karma and now all of a sudden it's being lifted off of you? You'll know. You'll know. Y'all not dummies out there. You know. Now, the moon on this lunar eclipse for you guys is going to be a hot moon. Again, extremes. This is going to be an extreme change. Things are going to heat up. Some of you, if you've done good, guess what? You're going to want this. You're going to have that desire for that change. It's a change in the wind, a change in direction. And we'll just have to wait and see, because this is going to be, with this lunar eclipse, it is going to be a change. And the full moon is, now, a lot of people will say on the new moon, you plant your seeds, your intentions, or whatever. No, it's the first quarter of the moon when you, oh gosh, hold on a second. It's the first quarter of the moon when it's time to plant the seeds and set your intentions. And the outward pull increases as it goes into the waxing gibblet. That moon grows toward the full moon. And it's a good time at the first quarter of the moon to take action and make those decisions and formulate goals and move forward. The full moon which is what this is, a full moon is time to shine and share what we are expecting and doing. Full moon is a traditional time for social gatherings and festivals and rituals. But this is not your regular full moon. This is an eclipse. The outward pull is at its strongest and invites us to be wild and free. to essentially participate in creation and howl to the moon, which people get. That's where you get the word lunatic from the moon. People get crazy at the full moon. Instincts are heightened and life force is activated. In order to surf the wave and use the energy for our benefit, we need to stay balanced, heart centered, and grounded. Full moons are strongly linked to relationships, love, romance, and passion. So they are. I love a full moon. I mean, to me, it's like beautiful. I love the illumination from it. I love the lighting from it. It inspires me. It doesn't drive me crazy. It just gives me inspiration. And I hope I don't lose that. I hope it doesn't eclipse out of my life. But what I'm seeing here is these are the potentials that, hey, there is a change in the wind that's going to happen, a change of direction. And it's going to be to the extreme. You're going to feel that from this full moon. And it's going to be a hot one. It's going to intensify. Just go take a cold shower is all I can tell you. All right, that's what I got for y'all, Libra. That's the way this um, full moon's going to be for you. And I do see that in your eighth house up there with that um, Uranus here. Uranus is all about the sudden change, big change. It's almost like the electrifying energy that heats up, that's pushing a change. In your visions and your dreams and your goals, your life goals here, or the life goals of the partner, or the one you have shared something with, you know. Be careful who you get in partnerships with. I'll tell you that. You better make sure they're grounded and they're really, you know, out for the same thing. Or it's going to go to hell in a handbasket real quick. It won't sustain. And it'll cause a lot of grief and problems here. So be cautious to who you get in partnerships with. Maybe, you know, both have the same philosophy, the same beliefs here. If you don't, it's the same ideals. You share the same ideals. You share the same things that you dreams, the visions you want. Because if you pick one that's thinking over here and you're over there, guess what? It ain't going to work. There will be burdens and troubles. Okay? So, anyway, that's what I got for y'all, Libra. Y'all take care, and I will see y'all the next time.